What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Hot, nasty, sweaty, muggy day here in Ohio, but we have some 400 Legend testing to continue with. So we've been doing hand load testing. We did some factory ammo testing. Back to hand load testing now. So we have some Barnes TAC-XPD. This is a 140 grain solid copper hollow point that was originally loaded for 40 Smith & Wesson. We pulled that round out of here, the 40 Smith & Wesson, and we loaded it into here, the 400 Legend. You notice a big difference in case size right there. So that's why I call the 400 Legend pretty much the 10mm Super Magnum, whatever you want to call it. But that is 400 Legend brass. We were doing this with Carcano brass, but now we've got the real stuff to mess with. We have the Redding reloading dies, so we can make whatever we want smoothly and easily now. This PowerPoint ammunition is not too bad, but they're only offering one grain weight, 215 grain. Supposedly there's going to be a subsonic load. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm sure other manufacturers are going to get on board with it, but I've talked to a couple so far that aren't really into it at all right now. So that's kind of surprising. That I guess you'd be surprised at who's not going to be jumping on the 400 Legend as far as ammo. So reloading / hand loading is going to be a big thing with this. Like I said, it's a 10mm like Super Magnum. It's really got a lot of case capacity. You can get bullets moving pretty fast. The problem with this is that you can only get handgun bullets moving so fast before they deteriorate in performance. So we've been testing to see which ones will do what. Of course, solid copper stands a little bit better than bonded or straight or soft lead. Now hardened lead, that's a different story. That's a big penetrator. We're going to be trying all different kinds of stuff, but the Barnes is up right now. Now, some people say, how are you shooting this? How do you have an upper for this? Well, we have an upper thanks to T2 Armory. Those are the Bushwhacker people. Anybody that's been watching this channel has seen the Bushwhacker. It's an awesome handgun. And basically, they just were messing around in their machine shop, and they came up with the idea of why not just chamber an upper, because the SAMMI specs were already out there. Why not just do it? So they did it. They worked around some Carcano brass, and we were having fun with it, doing some testing. Like I said, now we got the real brass. So that's enough explaining and talking. We got some gel to shoot. Now, as a 40 Smith & Wesson load, this has a velocity advertised of 1120 feet per second. Yep, 1120. We're gonna put it through this chronograph right here. We're gonna see what we get out of a 400 Legend loading. And then after it goes through the chronograph, hopefully gives us some numbers, we're gonna hit a brand new gel block. This is a 20-inch clear ballistics gel block, 10%, I almost said 20%. And then it's backed up by another 20-inch gel block, the catcher block. Don't mind the one track that's already through that. So let's see what this solid copper hollow point that does really well in 40 caliber, 10mm. Let's see what it does here in this. So she's pretty short in that magazine, but I bet you she's going to deliver a pretty good punch. My prediction, I like to give a little prediction here and there. I think it's going to pick that block up and throw it, because this is going to open up pretty violently, and there's a lot of energy behind it. So solid copper doesn't break apart very easily. I'll be surprised if the projectile actually blows apart, but let's see. So 2128, and we definitely turned the block a little bit like the 400 Legend likes to do. So nice entry wound right there. Try to zoom in, catch it from the side real quick over here. It's not the best looking with some smudges. And let's come over here and get it straightened out. So we have velocity and we have foot-pounds. Together it's no joke. We have a good effect here on the gel. I can count 2 petals that came off as it traveled, and that does not usually happen with this round, but you know, pretty typical entrance channel, entrance wound, permanent wound cavity, whatever you want to call it. And we kind of disappeared a little bit, but the bullet did not disappear. That thing is facing towards you, pedaled out, beautiful. And it made it to what I'm going to call 18 inches, 18.5 inches maybe. This is a little bit of a short block. It's almost not a 20-inch block all the way, so let's call that at 18 inches. That's pretty devastating. From the top down, looks pretty much the same. The one good thing about these solid copper hollow points is they usually perform very uniformly. They'll do the same thing over and over again. Here's where we have a couple pellets, I can't even say it, petals that bounced off. And we'll cut this thing out and see what it looks like. But that's a pretty good looking wound path. I think I would be happy to hit just about anything with that. To get that much disruption early on and then still get penetration, that's very ideal in my opinion. I think ideal for defense or hunting type of application. You be the judge on what you think it might be ideal for. All right, so that is about as smushed out as you usually see these TAC-XPDs get. That's pretty crazy. Pedaled all the way back, lost any little hooks it might have had, but it definitely lost these two pedals, and those two pedals are seen right down here. Pretty good performer right there, I'd say. Can't beat the solid coppers usually. So overall, like I said, I think that's great. Energy dump, penetration, not over penetration, that would definitely lead to a lot of blood loss in that cavity and a lot of shock. So like I said, your application, you see what you would use it for, but we do know that that type of a round can handle the 400 Legend velocities, at least in my opinion. We got plenty of other bullets to load up. Tumble upon impact's going to be interesting. The 200 grain, I believe, Underwood hard cast, that's going to be interesting. And then we have the gold dot, so that's probably going to be a little exploder, but we'll have to see. So stay tuned for that. And we have a bunch of other testing coming through, so it's not just 400 Legend or 10mm. We do all kinds of stuff on this channel. So I hope you enjoyed this testing. Thanks for watching, and until we see you next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.